when you are still riding one motor, you are riding my own type. You know the name of my car? No. Somebody says Camry. No, Camry Apugenaro. You know the name? Durum Gafe. You know how to take a name for the car. Because I can't do. Not when you are riding Durum Gafe. So when thou art eating, and I will start from there and read again. I'm going somewhere this morning.
Then beware, lest thou forget the Lord, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. Then shall fear the Lord thy God, and serve him, and shall swear by his name. You shall not go after other gods, of the gods of the people which are round about you. For the Lord thy God is a jealous God among you, lest the anger of the Lord thy God be kindled against thee, and destroy thee from off the face of the earth.
He called it strange gods. Is that not true? The new gods. That's the place they called it there. Is that verse around 18? He said it's the strange god, the new arrivals. He called it the new arrivals, strange gods. You know, when you begin to grow, you want a cheap gospel. When you begin to grow, the thing that shut you up now begins to irritate you. It's a sign of the man is becoming rich. What kept you and carried you up, you begin to excuse away. He said, when thou art eating. Jesus Christ, help me this morning because I'm going to step on toes.
This know also that in the last days,
this know also that in the last days
shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
They will love themselves.
Covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, trust breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. For of this sort are they which creep into houses and led captive silly women, laden with sin, led away with diverse lusts, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth.
Your careful subject this morning, I want to call it, Lord, save me now. I am succeeding materially, but I'm losing you. Lord, save me when I am succeeding materially, but I'm losing you. Deuteronomy began a word. He said, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart. If you read from verse 1, it began to tell you what you do with it. Put on your bracelet. That's where Israel began to wear something like a bracelet in the front, like that. It's not from fancy. It's the word of God written there. That's what the Hausa man calls liar. If you lived in the north, that's what they call liar. They take parts of the Quran and fold it in a little leather bag and wear it on their back. It's their own type of Catholic St. Christopher. The wear is there. It's a put it on the bracelet. Why? When you remember, when you see it, continue the line there, you remember what you told God. But that is supposed to be your mind in present day theology. It's whenever what is talked about for your forehead, it's talking about what is in your mind. Because the mind is the center of your reasoning. And whatever goes in your reasoning is what determines what you become in life. When God wants to deal with the people, he first of all deals with their mind. If your Christianity did not start with your mind, everything you are saying is useless. You cannot be godly. That's why I said when John was going to preach in the wilderness, what did he tell him? I am the voice of who? Was it John that was talking? John could not have said anything in the wilderness, they would kill him. Herod would have wiped him off. But he has just a voice for somebody. He was the PRO of Jesus. He was only speaking about Jesus. I am the voice of he who was shouting. The only voice that was right is Jesus Christ. He said, I'm the only one that told you. He was speaking from the wilderness of a dry land. Pastor Mitchell was doing a teaching and he mentioned wilderness. The other day he mentioned so many things. And it came up, life came up from that thing. I am the voice of him who is crying from the wilderness. Make straight. Repent. Because when your mind is straight, you can make things straight. Your picture or every design of your life, everything starts with your mind. The artist will tell you that. Everything is on the canvas of what's in his brain. If it's not there, it cannot walk. It is what he has in the canvas of his soul that he paints on the canvas of the drawing board. I'm not an artist, but I know up to that. An architect designs a house on the paper before he sees the building. He said, put it there, wear it on your bracelet. That's every action should be controlled by it. He said, why do you do this? He said, pass it on to your generations, because whatever started with you and ends with you has no life. You make room for your children to know better than you. Are you working for it? Are you sure? Very soon I will see you lawyer. Because I will tell you before we... Pass it on to your children. God is a generational God. That's why each time he appeared, he will tell you, I'm the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's not talking about different people. He's talking about generations. What I did with this man, I will do with this man. I will do. Only if they are connected to me the same way. He said, no man can serve two masters. There are many things that are masters in the lives of people. But Jesus was emphasizing two. And one is God. The other is what? Money. Are you talking about cash? Dollar? That's not a big problem. Success can become your God. That you forget the God who gave you the success. And I'm going to step on every toe that came to church if you came with your except your kuturu. Ebenta. And some of you are spiritually ebentaros. But I'm going to step on whatever one that is left this morning. Gradually, I'm seeing people leaving God. We come to church, but we don't know God. This teaching is taken from my series. Sound an alarm. Blow the trumpet in Zion. This is my sound alarm series. Anytime you see me come like this, decadence has entered. A to Z. So no man can serve two masters. If you think money is not strong, you have not made it. If you think success is not strong, you don't know what it is yet. If you think a car is not deception, don't worry until one carries you to hell. Because you can have a car and all you want to do is ride around the road. Check your purse before the mountain. You've put all your money you would have gone to do something else in petrol. What is supposed to help you do something else is not draining your purse. Especially for young men who just got new cars. You want to visit everybody and everything. See, what I'm telling to you happened to me, so I'm talking from experience. I will go make a My father was, one day we were talking, and I said, Papa, can you hear quota? I said, make who to a when I quota to a kanga or some madam. I'm not going quota to. And I'm associating madam or kagin. Oh, me, Mama, I looked at the man. I didn't know what to say. But as I'm beginning to pick age, I'm beginning to see there are certain things an elderly man does not keep quiet about. Ekwu anụ mere ntị, afọ ekwu mere ọnụ, ọnụ bụ agadi, ntị bụ ụmụazị. Ab initio, God did not create man to function without him, even in ministry and whatsoever. When he was going to send his people out, he called it commission. In other words, you cannot do this without me. If I don't go with you, you ain't going nowhere. That's why he said, without me, you can do nothing. I don't care how much you have succeeded. Look at everyone that has succeeded in life now. Somehow, they're into one mess. Not because success is bad, but because they left God behind. Bill Gates is now suggesting all manner of things. I read one of his steps from what his wife talking. Bill Gates said the world is full of people. That at least 20% of the world should be reduced, and most of them should come from Africa. Hello? The world is overpopulated. And then most of them will need to be depopularize the world by 20%, and 20%, that 20% should come from Africa. Now put the continent of Africa together. It's not close to China. It's not even close to India. And the islands and environment. But they are saying Africa should go. My question is not what he has in mind. Everybody has the right to think whatever he wants to think. There are many counsels in the heart of every man. But only God's counsel shall stand. Now the question is, why do you think of killing what you did not create? I watched the story of Michael Jackson from his small age. I'm studying this man now, Nostradamus. I tagged them to go to the internet and bring down everything about Nostradamus. After this COVID, this and that. I'm doing a study in his private life and all that. That's how I work. I'm going to spend almost one day on the internet bringing it down for me. Studying it. Gradually. You want to know what made those people think. Why could they predict the future even though they don't know God too much? Prophecy is not too much a thing. If you yield your heart to God, He will use you at any point. Michael Jackson was taken from his mother when he was young. They found him as some person who could champion the Illuminati cause. They took him from the child. They so made this boy rich that Sonny, worldwide, almost belonged to him. This boy, at some point in his life, after success, could no more sleep. Michael Jackson was, what is that thing you use to do operation? What's that name? Said doctor? Anesthesia or something? That's what they were injecting Michael Jackson with. And the doctor would be sleeping by his side, sitting by his side. Michael Jackson was using $400 per sleep. $400,000 per sleep. What you go to bed now before in a wobble. But somebody paid that every day just to sleep. And that thing happens 3 times in a week. Because at some point he became so weak. And he has bleached himself away that even the sun on him is against him. And when plastic surgery. Bufume is the god of the Illuminati. Looks like a goat. Those who think they know spiritualism don't know anything about it. Command you! You can't command what you don't know. Because it takes a prince to bind a prince. God said to Pharaoh, go tell Pharaoh, Israel is my son. My firstborn, Moses. If you don't leave him, what will I do? It's here about the princes, about Gomwazi. It's a prince versus a prince. It takes a prince to bind the prince. If what you get started with you and ended with you, no input from God, no caution from God, nothing that God can point to as his own in you. The prodigal son, when he got to the distant land, what took him there? You are quiet on me now. That's simple. There's no revelation there. Blessing of the Father, riches, success. That's what took him away from his parents' place. And I'm going to show you that, how it applies to your life today. He left the presence of God. And there are so many reasons why you leave the presence of God. So many. Some of them look so good. But that it looks good doesn't make it right. Good things are not right things. There's a difference between a good thing and a right thing. When he got there, he wants to have his own way. No sooner than later, he began to feed pigs. And I can show you so many ways where so many of you are feeding pigs. Go check the life of a swine. It falls in and falls out. Clean a pig or wash a pig is a pig. It's going back to the mouth. Whenever you post the doer before God, or come with a sense of, I want to showcase my achievements, you're already heading down for the gallows. Sometime when we were there, I went to ask them to go to the flowers and cut me a tree. And we hung it in church. And I said, this tree looks like it's alive. This branch looks like it's alive. Is that not true? How many were in church then? We washed it. It was looking fresh. After 3 weeks, the thing gave way. Those that was there just waiting for fire. I told them, what looked good yesterday? It's not good. Why? Because it was disconnected from the main thing. Jesus said, I am the, and you are the branches. If you disconnect from me, you may be looking good today. You may look like you have succeeded. But give yourself time. You will be history. Many people think I came to preach what others have done. They can't say what I say. They say, I go and hate you. Somebody say, what of Nguma? Why I go and hate for my man? I'm Benji. It is God that is keeping us. Told the staff, I said, listen, let us all look up. Our help will not come from man. Moses, did I tell you so? Joma, did I tell you so? Look up! Our help will not come from man. Because unless God touches a man's heart, he ain't going to do nothing for you. The people don't know God, let alone know you. I called two of them, I said, they don't dash me. Okay, then give me, how can they give you? So you just have to look up to God. If you look at what the markets say, and it's tough with you, can they hit your order, right? Hello? I said, hello? If you look at what the markets are now, for you to earn something and do something, the man that is seated here for 24 hours, then you call the area in a row, you join the baby. See miracles everywhere. Where there's no more miracles. Miracles have left. Why did he leave? Is God's hand short that he cannot reach anybody anymore? No. The last one that happened, you posed the door. The last one that happened, your pastor became a one lawyer. The last one that happened, your pastor became this thing. All the glory was given to the man for curing headache. I remember when the story of AIDS, I said, I go pastor, I go AIDS, and I said, no pastor can cure AIDS. When you will AIDS, you see what we are going to was not go AIDS. AIDS is quite different from what is. We claimed it. The man said, okay, since you know, the owner of the church withdrew up and is watching us. And when we want to cover up and we don't, we invited the native doctors. They took away their bought a China coat. So maybe what? Because if the rebel coat is 10,000 naira, rebel 8,000, rebel 5. So when you go to the now to get people to come to the plan of God, the great idea of God, Genesis 1:26. Men becoming God on earth. In our problem. I told you, if you go to a church for 2 years, check yourself. If you cannot do things without your pastor, you are a slave, a religious slave. If you are here and you cannot kneel down and pray 1 hour without referring to anybody or talking to your God alone, you are a religious slave. Nothing enslaves a man like religion. And once you begin to think religiously, there's no room for any development scientifically. No more room for global thinking, except emotional things. One of the traits of spirituality is improvement in everything. If I'm a pastor, and what I know now is what I knew the day I left to the university, the day I left the theological seminary, I've not God since, but just went on. Because part of a genuine spirituality is taking you from faith to faith. Our God is not a static God. Our God. Be it with your medicine. And you are not on the cutting edge of everything that happening. You've lost God. Because the reason why you asked to do it there is so that you can stand for God in the matters that concern those things. I'm going somewhere. Deuteronomy chapter 10. Chapter 32. Deuteronomy 32. Please, everybody turn to that place. Deuteronomy 32. 10 to 18. Deuteronomy. I told you nobody follows God like a man in poverty. Huh? Nobody serves God like a man in need. He found him in the desert place. He went to every prayer meeting. He found him in the backside in the gully. He found him in the gutter. Have you ever been there? Was it not where the Lord picked you from? Who was your father? Somebody so unique. Who was your father? I don't care what name would be. Who was the father? He took you from the backside of nowhere. He led him. The first thing you notice that because God brought him out of that place, there was no strange God. You didn't think of any other thing. God was the center of everything you were doing. He brought him out from the backside of nowhere. You were poor as a poor church rat, open to every manner of things. But listen, go ahead.
He made him ride on the high places.
Now he
of the
began
earth.
to take him. What does it mean to ride on the high places? You know what the high place is. Open it again. From nowhere, he lifted him up. Is somebody's story here? Is that somebody's story? If care is not taken, somebody that is listening to me now, you are the richest in your family. Your father had no kobo like you have. Why did he lift you up? Because you are better, because you are connected to Willie, or because you are connected to Janet. Other people who are working with you ended in first grade, they dropped them. Level 8, step 3, because you are a graduate. They dropped them. Now you are level 14, level 15. How did you get there? Oh, you think because you expertise? You brought him up, made him walk on the high places. You are now controlling people. Those who were controlled by the devil before are now controlling people. Go ahead.
That he might eat the increase of the field.
Uh-huh.
And he made him to suck honey out of the rock.
Now listen.
And oil out of the fleeting
He
rock.
made him to suck honey out of the what? What does it mean to suck honey? Even where others went and failed, you succeeded there. They put hand on dry things that will not succeed. But because Nijereba, Adam Miriam, all the things you are doing that are succeeding, many people tried it before you. Why did you succeed? Many women went to marry. Till today they have no child. You. I can see miracle. That's what I call her. I don't know what you call her. That miracle girl. You can see her sing here. Was it your prayer that time that helped you? He made him suck honey from the rock. He drank milk from the fattest of rams. That is what is happening that day. That's the major business there. So that's where they're coming from. He's talking about his business producing excess. Because a ram or a sheep will produce clothes, meat, milk, and food. Because of ego, they will sell it. So within a sheep, that's going to be a sheep trader. Everything no inside it. When you say that, he has enough clothes to wear. He has enough milk, drink, nourishment of the body. He has enough meat to sell. He has enough to, he has money at home. When people say they are poor shepherds, they don't know nothing. They say this man is a fisherman. Fishery was one of the other business. Gennesaret was the center of riches, because that's where liquid cash is. That's why most of Jesus Christ's men were people in the sea. The people in the inn business. Because anytime he wants to go, he needs money to go. So people must be there who are liquid. So, but look at that. He said that. Now, do you know it took him from Jacob? Is that true? Time of process. It brought him to Israel. A time of power. But look at him where he dropped him. Where did he leave him? It was at a time when God allowed him to exercise his own power. It was when he walked away from God. Jeshua waxed fat and did what? How do you kick on God? You now have excuses for so many things. Abiam. No. Asam Abiam. You are waxed fat now. There's an excuse why your wife is not in church. There's an excuse why your wife is not in church. People here corona vid, we are corona vibe, we are getting just wax fat. There was a time in your life. That's why I want to Jesus. Jesus, you know, God saw you through terrible conditions of life. But the little money you put into your hands, God is now expected. God forbid. Left the Holy One of Israel. What are we chasing? It was here before you came. It will be here when you have gone. It was here before you came. Check all those who died. Not $1, not ₦1 was put in their grave. The reason why you left God and you have exercise excuses now, especially the men, have one excuse or the other. But I bet you, in the name of the Lord, as sure as the heavens are in their place, you will cry when the days come. What you are allowing now will chase you tomorrow. Maybe your hands would have been weak then. Or the Hagar from Egypt that the world cannot even correct today. The Messiah came. We are still struggling with it. One Hagar. Just know, works fast. You have become rich now. You can tell God what you don't want and what is right. It's called selective integrity. When you are sick, God can heal you. It's in the Bible. When you are going, the Lord will protect your going out and coming. It's in the Bible. But when it is time to tithe, I don't believe in tithing.